G'day everyone, welcome to Nat's Knackers Yard. I'll be Nat, this won't be my Knackers Yard. This is me actually out on Blue for the first time in a good, 2 weeks, 3 weeks maybe. Following advice from many, Blue sat on a good solid trickle charge last night. Battery was saying clear this morning. It's a reasonably modern charger that does do that conditioning as well. So it seemed happy enough. Charges up to sort of 13, then dropped itself down to 12.5. Now regrettably I put my battery meter in a perfect position that, I should have put it up here somewhere so I can see it without moving my head, but as it is I kind of have to wiggle around, and I'm cruising at around 13 to 14 on steady revs. Which is fine. That's I'm happy with that. But we'll see. So I've got a 15-mile-ish journey, so 30-mile round trip today, and we'll see how we go with it from there. Failing that, if this still doesn't fix it, then we're looking at regulator rectifier, I think. Because it's obviously not processing the charge that it's getting from the stator, pumping it back into the battery. I have left the bike wired properly. So I did mention before about I don't want to say fix, a bodge I suppose, where you bypass the bike's loom on the return leg from the regulator rectifier and do it straight into the battery, which showed a little bit better, shall we say, which is fine. That's to be expected. It's what, 2007 bike. It's going to lose some. It's highly likely to lose some of the charge coming from the regulator rectifier through the loom and back into the battery. I said on a previous upload that some dude on the Facebook group found on the forums that somebody it's like pushed it through and realised how many steps, how much stuff the charge went through to get from the regulator rectifier into the battery, and it was something like 4 relays it went through, but I can't remember. Please don't quote me, but a direct wire would make sense to be more efficient, but I don't like rewiring bikes if they don't need rewiring, so I'm leaving it as it is for now, and we'll see what happens. That's a simple version of that. It's taking me on a bit of a strange route, but I know my way into work, but I always sat nav it because Google does traffic, and that doesn't. Other stuff. So Blue, you can see, let me see if you can see what I see. You can see that is 13.5, 13.8. That's a tick over, which is fine. It wasn't doing that before. It was on 11 to 12, a tick over at lights, which is why it was killing itself, frankly. So that's better. Away from Blue, dig. Away from Blue and looking more at the XJ650 at Mick. I'm trying to think what I said on my last upload. My last upload, I put the cylinder head in, I put the block and the head in, that's right, but I hadn't bolted it down because I looked at my bolts and they were manky wanky, and my view certainly then was I'm not going to put those back in. I will look at buying new ones. Well, I've looked at buying new ones and I'm not going to, because there's 12 of them. That works out as quite expensive quite quickly. I can get some cheap Chinese ones that are about 30 quid, I'm sure. I haven't found them yet, I haven't looked that closely. Yeah, about 30 quid, and I'm like, I don't trust them, not for something quite so critical. I looked at OEM ones, and it's because there's 12 of them, and that's the issue. There's 12 of them. They need to be torqued quite high. I can't remember off the top of my head what it is, but it's quite a high torque to squeeze that piston, that cylinder head together, or that engine together, I suppose. So what? I had a quick go last night at tidying them up, and it worked. Actually, they look quite good. Don't look brand new, don't look super spanky and shiny, but that's not the point. I wanted them, so I'm not putting rusty stuff back on a bike. So actually, they look quite oh god, not suitable. They go with it. I'm trying to think. My vocabulary hasn't woken up yet. They go with it quite well, so they're good enough. No, they're good enough. You think I was being nasty and not letting her out? I have no idea. I do not stop on things like that, because I have no idea whether or not the car behind me is paying any attention or has seen me stop. For those that aren't bikers and think that bikers are dicks for not giving way, that's why generally we don't give way, because we have absolutely no guarantee that the vehicle behind us has seen us give way. It happens all too often. And actually, as far as a biker's concerned, striking from the rear is fucking dangerous. I mean, being struck from anywhere is dangerous on a bike, but being struck from the rear, you know, the whiplash effect of your body going backwards and your bike going forwards is pretty nasty. So that's why I don't give way, and I'm also a bit of a dick. Does it mean that people pull out in front of me? Yes, but I can see them and I'm in control. And I think just about all bikers are control freaks to one degree or another. We'd like to be in control as much as we can be. Yes, distracted. In keeping, that's what I was trying to think of. The bolts are in keeping with the rest of the bike. Excuse me. So I will get those on, and then start moving on to the cams, I suppose. Now I need to do a lot more reading first, because yeah, I could throw it all together. It's entirely logical how a bike fits together. If it fits and things still move, that's a good thing. If it fits together and things don't move, that's a bad thing. And it doesn't work, but that's kind of not the point. And I'm now getting at the stage beyond what do I say, beyond mechanical logic, if you like. So mechanical logic, a cog can only go in and work one way. So me putting the gear selector roller in upside down, because I got confused from flipping the engine upside down and right way up several times over to do things up and bolt things up, etc., following the manual. That was mechanical logic pointed that out to me, because I was trying, you know, put it all together, tried to select gears, and it no worky. So mechanically I'd done something wrong. I was very, very fortunate by virtue of the fact that I could actually get to that roller through the oil sump, which saved me, you know, undoing all of my good work and stripping it in half again, and which is what I was about to do. So yeah, that's you know, there's mechanical logic there. When I start getting to where the fuck am I going? I thought I was going to go that way. Why is it? No, it is taking me the way I thought. That way. Jesus fucking buses. I'm making it up. When it comes to timing, when it comes to valves, that's when it starts moving slightly away from mechanical logic. That's when it starts moving away from, well, that doesn't fit in there, so that's not going to work type thing. That starts getting a little bit more, I don't want to say technical, but it is a little bit more technical. Saying it's technical sounds a little bit wanky. So yeah, that's what I'm moving on to next. Oh. So what? Now I'm in danger here of sounding like Del Bollocks from Del Bollocks Garage. So he quite routinely, and Matt, Dirty Garage Guy, points it out a lot. He routinely starts, you know, a mini project, you know, an element of his bike, a mudguard, a brake cable, or whatever, and he's really enthused at the end. And actually, just look at his episodes. He starts really enthusiastic, and then he finishes really, really slapdash. And he needs the money shot at the end. He needs a product at the end to show you, look, I've gone from this and I've gone to that. And just as the intro said, today I want to get this done, and weirdly enough, he gets it all done. The fact that he's utterly slapdashed it so that he can get it done in the time that he's got put aside for it is something else. What he also does is he gets bored mid-project. So, you know, I really want to do this mudguard, and he spends a fucking snowplow on the front. You know, he gets really enthused about it, gets into it, spends very little time making it, spends a lot of time making do from making it and filling in holes and gaps and this, that and the other. Then as he gets towards the end of it, he's looking at the next thing he needs to do, and he's really excited about it, and he loses interest in what he's doing at the time, and then he just slapdashes it, and then it just looks wanky. I am really looking forward to getting into the frame and getting something to house that engine on. But what I'm trying not to do is then lose interest in finishing the engine, because I fucking thoroughly enjoyed doing it, and still am. It was a voyage of discovery for me. I'd never dug that far into an engine before. I'll only do it again if I have to. It's not something I'm going to do on every bike, I don't think. But I'm keen to get on with the rest of the bike. Now, just looking through my playlists last night, I realised just how many uploads I've done on this engine, and you know, if you're sticking with it, well done. But you know, my intention, well, okay, my broader intention is that, you know, it's a hobbyist channel. It's not a how-to channel. It's not a directed channel. You know, it's not a career. I make bugger all money out of it, which is precisely why I don't do Patreon, or I don't do members and things like that, because, you know, I don't want your money. Don't get me wrong. If you want to give it to me, I'll gladly accept it. But, you know, I don't want to feel like I'm charging people, because then I feel pressure to do things. Now, when this goes on, I'm just trying to work out when I'm going to actually. For those that don't YouTube, you can set up a schedule where you upload your upload. You do all the shebang on it, and you set it scheduled to go live, if you like, at a certain time, place, which is great, and I do it with most of mine, which is why most of my uploads go out at 5 o'clock, because according to my stats on my YouTube studio, that's when most of my viewers are on, is sort of 5-6 o'clock in the evening, or 5 to 7. So it's, you know, I'm getting most of you probably at the end of a hard day's work, and you're just vegging out, probably sat in the shitter looking at your phone. It's a weird thing to think that actually people are watching me on their TVs. That's very strange. But people do that, you know. It's the advantage of YouTube is that, you know, you can view it how you want to view it. So you're probably getting this at the latter end of the week. I mean, it's currently Tuesday. I'm hiding nothing. It's currently Tuesday. This will go out at the end of the week, maybe even on the weekend. It's half term for schools next week. I'm away with the missus, kids and family again. So I won't be playing with bikes for a week. Now, if I had members, if I had Patreon, if I had this, that and the other, I'd feel a pang of guilt over that, because I wouldn't be doing what somebody's paying me to do. Fundamentally, I'm, you know, there's a little bit of dancing monkey there, you know, dance monkey dance, you know, monkey's not dancing, something's wrong. Well, no, that's why it's a hobby for me. It's something that, don't get me wrong, I love doing, and I thoroughly enjoy uploading it, and I thoroughly enjoy taking you guys and girls, and mostly guys, along for the ride. I enjoy the comments, I enjoy the assistance, the advice that you lot give. It's really useful, and it adds an element to my hobby. But what I'm not doing is, you know, I've already got one job that takes up more time than I would like, and stops me from doing other things that I would like to be doing. It doesn't, because it fucking funds them, fundamentally. It pays the mortgage type stuff. But yeah, I've already got one, you know, one large chunk of my life that carries my time and gives me money back for it. I don't really want or need another. So what? Well, there might be a bit of a delay in uploads because I'm off doing fun stuff. It is that slight difference between working to live and living to work. And I very much work to live, and I'm immensely fucking fortunate for that. But it does mean that I don't really want to pollute my hobby by monetizing it. Now, one of you is going to come back in here and say, yeah, but you've monetized your channel now. Yeah, I have, and that really took a lot of thinking about to do. And it was a couple of, actually, you guys that convinced me to do it. I didn't want to monetize it because I didn't want adverts coming up and ruining people's viewing pleasure. And then it was pointed out that adverts come up anyway. So, you know, YouTube are making money out of it anyway. Why not get some yourself? So that's precisely what I have done. And it, you know, it's a pittance. It's about, you know, about 25 quid a month, 30 quid a month. Now, the way that YouTube works is you don't get that unless, or the minimum payment it will do in a month is 60 quid, so it just rolls it over. So, you know, every couple of months I get sort of 60 quid or so. Now that's, you know, that's nothing. That barely, that certainly doesn't cover the input on the site. But then, you know, the input on the site for me is bits for a bike, it's consumables, you know, that's fine. I buy a camera, you know, I film on a camera rather than on a I film on a camera, twat. I film on a phone rather than on a camera. Excuse me, I have a computer, so, you know, I could film on a proper camera, then download it and do all the jiggery pokery of editing, etc. But I film on a phone. I do have a discrete phone to do it, so I'm not filling up my mobile phone. I have an old second-hand eBay purchase. I can't remember what phone it is, to be honest, but, you know, it's all right. The camera's good enough. Battery life on it's pretty shite, but I just have to remember to keep checking it on. You know, there's always power where I am because I'm lucky enough to have a garage with electricity in it. I've just got to remember to fucking charge it. I'm coming in a shitty route. I don't know why it's taking me off the main A roads and doing it this way. So yeah, the upkeep of my hobby is not the YouTube side of it. The upkeep, the costs of it are bike bits and bikes and more bike bits and oil and lube and yada 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 yada. All of which I would be doing whether or not I would be having to pay for whether or not I was filming it, frankly. So why should I charge you for your entertainment? Right, I'm rambling and this traffic's wanky, so I'm going to have to concentrate. So I'm going to sign off for there, and I will catch you later on. Hopefully, well, nigh on finishing off the engine of Mick, the XJ650. Cheers, all. Catch you later.
Exit the roundabout onto Trafalgar Square. Head northeast towards Trafalgar Square, A4.
Oh, I fucking love London.